The monarch, 74, said it is his sincere hope that the project will act as a reminder that our society is woven from diverse threads, each comprising stories of remarkable courage and sacrifice, determination and strength. The exhibition will go on display at the Palace of Holyrood House, which is His Majesty's official residence in Edinburgh. Titled Windrush Portraits of a Pioneering Generation, the display honors the men and women who arrived in Britain on the humped Empire Windrush from the Caribbean 75 years ago in 1948. In the foreword to a book accompanying the portraits, Charles said, "History is, thankfully and finally, beginning to accord a rightful place to those men and women of the Windrush generation." The 10 portraits in this series, together with the tributes to other members of that indomitable generation, are a small way to honor their remarkable legacy. It is, I believe, crucially important that we should truly see and hear these pioneers who stepped off the Empire Windrush at Tilbury in June 1948 only, a few months before I was born, and those who followed over the decades, to recognize and celebrate the immeasurable difference that they, their children and their grandchildren have made to this country. The portraits will be honored as part of the official royal collection as a powerful reminder of the people of Windrush and their personal resilience and determination. 10 sitters, who are now into their 80s and 90s, include RAF veterans Delisser Bernard and Alfred Gardner, founding member of the Leary Constantine West Indian Association, John Big John Richards and actress Carmen Munro Obe, among others. Portraits, which were done by black artists personally selected by the King, will be displayed for 2 weeks on 500 billboards and 600 shopping center screens across the UK. Last week, King Charles and Queen Camilla hosted a Buckingham Palace reception, where he met the 10 individuals whose faces have been immortalized in paint. Newly crowned King and Queen were joined by BBC News anchor Clive Meary, whose parents were part of the Windrush generation and traveled to the UK in the 60s. Former troopship Empire Windrush landed in Britain on June 22, 1948, carrying people from across the Caribbean who had responded to an ad offering tickets for £28, around £1,040 in today's money, closing parenthesis. To those wanting to work in the UK. Between 1948 and 1970, more than 500,000 Windrush migrants from the West Indies left their homes to emigrate to the UK. Those who came from former and current British colonies had an automatic right to settle in the UK, as the country recognized the reconstruction of the British economy required a large influx of labor from abroad. Many of the migrants had fought for the UK in the Second World War, and soon took up jobs as nurses, cooks, engineers, mechanics and more. The appeal for new workers was primarily aimed at white Europeans who had dominated immigration to Britain during the century before the Second World War, and still played an important role after 1945. Working-age adults and many children traveled from the Caribbean to join parents or grandparents in the UK, or traveled with their parents without their own passports. Since these people had a legal right to come to the UK, they neither needed nor were given any documents upon entry to the UK, nor following changes in immigration laws in the early 1970s. Many worked or attended schools in the UK without any official documentary record of their having done so, other than the same records as any UK-born citizen.